People often act like Nioh 2 is one of the greatest games of all time, and those people are absolutely correct. Nioh 2 took everything that worked in the first game and cranked it up to 11. Ever since reaching that impossible high, Team Ninja has been desperately trying to shove that same genie back into the bottle. First, they tried with Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I actually liked that game, but something always felt off. In hindsight, yeah, it was definitely the morale system. They then swung again, this time with Rise of the Ronin, a game that got cooked online because it looked like it escaped from the PS3 era. The real ones who actually gave it a chance were probably pleasantly surprised, because that game is basically Ninja Gaiden except you jump people with your whole squad, Jujutsu Kaisen style. I love that game, and till this day I'm still praying for DLC so I can dump another 100 hours into it. Needless to say, Rise of the Ronin wasn't that big of a breakout Team Ninja was hoping for, so they finally did what people had been begging for, screaming for, writing essays for: Nioh 3. Except they made it open world. Yikes. Okay, alright, before we panic, let me clarify. I've been playing Nioh 3 for about a week. I finished it and I've done almost everything there is to do. And don't worry, I won't be spoiling anything today. Not yet. Now let me address the big elephant in the room. Open world Nioh. Except it's not really open world, it's more like open field. Let me explain. Nioh 1 and Nioh 2 had a very specific structure. You had a mission select menu that acted like your HQ. Pick a mission, clear it, go back to HQ, repeat, and in Nioh 3 that menu is gone. Instead, every mission is part of one massive, continuous experience. You're essentially moving from multiple smaller dungeons into one giant, interconnected one. Well, several giant ones, but we'll get to that sometimes in the future. Now, when you beat a boss, the game doesn't just kick you back to the menu, you just keep going until the next poor soul catching these hands. I'll be honest, when I first heard open world Nioh, I was scared. But after nearly 80 hours, that's a long time, I can confidently say that this shift toward Rise of the Ronin style exploration was the best decision they could have made. The world is interconnected in a way that never feels aimless. You're not just sprinting mindlessly across empty fields, they have activities, secrets, and collectibles everywhere. I never felt bored, not even once. Exploration is also heavily encouraged thanks to an exploration level system. The more collectibles you find, the higher that level goes. At level 4, which is the maximum level, everything you haven't found yet gets revealed on the map. And for the first time in Nioh history, I collected every single Kodama without a guide. A miracle, a blessing, a true gamer moment. Honestly, I'll go as far as to say this is straight up an upgrade over the previous games. The only downside, because of course there has to be one, performance. One of my favorite things about Nioh was always playing at 120 FPS, oh lord. With the larger interconnected world, the devs clearly had to cap it at 60 FPS on console, which is unfortunate. That said, the game ran extremely well overall. I only had performance issues once in a very specific area, a snowy area. In an era where games launch completely broken and busted at launch to just get fixed later, this deserves a praise, a genuine praise. Now let's talk about the main course, the main event, the combat, le combat. Actually, quick disclaimer, this isn't a Souls-like. Nioh is not a Souls-like. I mean, technically it is, but Nioh is less of a Souls-like than Black Myth Wukong, for example, is. The reason is simple. Nioh actively encourages you to break Souls-like habits. Key pulsing has been the backbone of stamina management since William decided to vacation in Japan. This system lets you stay aggressive without constantly waiting for stamina to recover. That's Nioh's secret sauce. Unlike games like Lies of P or Stellar Blade, you are rewarded for aggression as long as you actually know what you're doing. Everything comes down to mastering key pulses, martial arts, and guardian skills, and on top of that, you can free swap between two combat styles, samurai or ninja. Full disclosure again, coming from Nioh 2, I assumed ninja would be a gimmick. No key pulsing, squish your defenses, no walking tank energy. But listen, ninja goes absolutely crazy. I genuinely wish this was a thing in earlier games. I swear, I promise you. I treated the two styles like different separate characters, each with their own weapon sets and roles. I will not question why my character can instantly change outfits, weight class, and combat philosophy in half a second, but color me impressed. By the halfway point, ninja becomes just as strong and just as fun as samurai. The combo potential is basically infinite. As a ninja, your tools regenerate when you deal damage, no matter which class you're using. Translation: the more aggressive you play, the more the game rewards you. Some of the skills in this game are completely ridiculous and I love every single of it. Another addition we have to talk about, the jump button. Why are we discussing a jump button in the year 2026? Because it's the first time Nioh has ever let you jump. And no, it's not just slapped on for no reason. This game is clearly designed around it. From platforming sections that feel straight out of Astro Ball to jumping over attacks mid-fight. Your legs are also apparently made of steel now. You can jump from high places without instantly snapping your ankles or even perform Sekiro-like death blows, which is pretty cool. I mean, it sounds small, but it's transformative. Please, can we collectively agree to stop releasing action games without jumping? Now just imagine if the first Berserker Kazan also had jumping. Exactly. Guardian Spirits also return, and this time you can weave their abilities directly into combos. Clearing missions and breaking crucibles unlock new skills and strengthens your spirit. Soul cores are back too, except now you can equip up to 8 at once, split into different positions with different effects. The Yang position boosts attack and defense, provides passive buffs, and lets you summon a yokai mid-fight. This alone is a game changer, especially when you realize that a strong yokai can become an absolute trump card later. Pokemon logic applies here. You get to catch them all. The Yin position lets you equip seals for buffs, debuffs, or elemental nonsense like summoning a tornado. The best seals come from the hardest yokai, including one that can let you tank anything without taking damage. But what is my favorite new feature? Glad you ask. The moment the game finally decided to punish me for founding revenants like a menace. For those who don't know, revenants are player graves left behind when someone dies online. Now beat enough of them and the game drops hints about the location of the Big Brother. And let me tell you, Big Brother is not playing. This dude is an absolute menace. He has so much aura that even his grave has aura. He will kill you a lot, but the rewards are worth it, including a powerful soul card that's especially useful early on. Personally, I prefer fighting him as a ninja. Dodging through attacks feels way safer than trying to deflect a flaming blender. Now, hear me out. At times, Nioh 3 feels like it's trying to be Nioh 2 while also reinventing itself. And honestly, I would say about 90% of the time it succeeds. If this is your first time playing Nioh, you're in for an incredible experience. If you're coming from Nioh 1 or 2, it may feel extremely familiar. That familiarity isn't inherently bad, but the enemy reuse does get noticeable. I fought Mizuki or Gozuki at least 10 times, and that's not over-exaggerating things. Yokai, soldiers, Kappa, Yoki, and Kigaki, Haki? Oh, they all came back for a brand new game. Having roughly 70% returning enemies is a little bit underwhelming. That said, one returning yokai I will never complain about is my beloved Kasha. If you played Nioh 2, you always know how busted she was. If you didn't, she's basically a cat lady with flaming wheels for legs. And yes, I know what you're thinking, I won't say it. Finally, let's talk about difficulty. The challenge in Nioh 3 comes down to mastering mechanics, skill pulsing, deflections, martial arts, and how much you explore. I didn't touch a blacksmith until the very end of the game. Crafting is resource heavy and epic gear takes a while to unlock anyway. Exploration gives you levels, skills and gear naturally, and it makes the game significantly more manageable. The game still challenging, don't get me wrong, but it never feels unfair. And if you're like me, and didn't want the journey to end, good news! A new difficulty unlocks immediately after finishing the game. Are you serious? New Game Plus at launch in this economy? Yes. And mind you, it keeps tracks of everything you've done up until then, including Kodama's shrines, everything. You can fast travel almost everywhere instantly, replay missions through the battle scroll system, help other players as a visitor, leave summoning signs, and get rewarded when players summon you. Honestly, this was the perfect way to honor such a legendary series. Huge thanks to Koei Tecmo for the review code. I can't wait to see what they cook with the TLCs. Until then, go wild and have fun. This is easily the most 9 out of 10 game you play this year so far. If you're also excited about Nioh 3, guess what? I'll be posting a lot more content and you don't want to miss out on any of those. So drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you very, 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 very soon. God, that game is good.
The wound matches the cut in the armor.